Joining us now, our CAA Women's Basketball Insider, Monica McNutt. And Monica, we only have a few weeks remaining in the conference season and a lot still to be determined. What have you seen out of the last few weeks as we take a look at the conference standings?
Hey, Bobby, and it is indeed 3 weeks to go. Count them. I mean, it's money time. I think we're starting to see teams really formulate their identity. One of the interesting things for me to look at this point in the season is you go and see what teams' records are at home versus on the road, because the position for the last 5 games down the stretch could matter as we see some seeding jumping around and tiebreakers potentially going down in the CAA.
And let's take a look at the top. And right now, the hot team is Drexel, an 11-game winning streak. They're just one of 16 teams in the country with such a streak. Just what has Drexel done so well really over the past month and throughout this conference season?
Well, I think they're finding one another. They're scoring. Bailey Greenberg is continuing to have a signature-type year that we've seen over the body of her career in the CAA. She's taking leaps and bounds in terms of growing and being able to add to how she's able to score. Then you've got Hannah Nahill, who chipped in this most recent win with 6 points. She was 3 of 5 from the field, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals. Barring those numbers being higher, there's not that often that you see a kid check into each box that well and efficiently. And obviously, this last win for Drexel was one to note in terms of their defense. They held their opponent to 32 points. Now, mind you, that's the 3rd time this season they've held an opponent to 32 or less. And so it shows that not only can this team score, we know good and well about Drexel's chip off the old Villanova block and head coach Denise Dillon and their ability to shoot threes, but we're also seeing them defend. And we started the conversation talking about home records, Bobby. That 11-game win streak is beautiful, but if you dig in a little bit further, they're 10-1 at home. And so the DAC has just been a great place for them to play this season. Now, granted, the CAA tournament won't be at the DAC, but they're developing some really good habits and they are consistent. And so this is when you start to play your best basketball. This is when coaches love to see their team start to peak.
Indeed, the Dragons sitting there ranks 12th in the country in scoring defense, holding the Blue Hens this past week to 32 points. Just an incredible job by the Dragons here over the past couple months. And as we move down the standings, we take a look at JMU, and we know all about Kamaya Smalls, but they also have another young guard that's really stepping up right now in Kiki Jefferson. She's earned Rookie of the Week honors once again and just having an incredible first year for the Dukes.
I think when we started having these conversations bi-weekly, Bobby, we talked about the fortunate position that Kiki Jefferson is in and the ability that she has to learn from fantastic guards, whether it be Smalls, Benitez, you go down the list. James Madison is known for the type of basketball player that they produce. 1, because of her IQ, and then 2, some outstanding guards through the years. I mean, I think over All-Star Weekend, Chris Paul said that Ty Young, who is an old school JMU player, is his favorite WNBA player. So it just speaks to the caliber of talent that can come out of JMU. There is no reason in my mind that Kiki Jefferson can't be another one of those guards. If you'll indulge me and jump over to the NFL a little bit, think about Patrick Mahomes and what he was able to do for the Kansas City Chiefs this year, now Super Bowl champions. But Mahomes got to sit for a year and learn. And so this is such a perfect position for Kiki Jefferson. She's active, so she's not sitting, but she's having the opportunity to learn alongside tremendous guards and get the great tutelage of Coach O'Regan. So I'm excited to see that she's been able to put her mark on this program as a freshman, because while she's also learning, in a way she's competing, and she's shown that she's here to make her presence felt. I cannot wait to see what she's going to do with the remainder of her career and, of course, the rest of this season.
And then Kiki Jefferson having a great freshman campaign for JMU. And as we move down the standings to William & Mary, if there's another team that's on a hot winning streak similar to Drexel's right now, it is the Tribe. 5-game winning streak for William & Mary. What have you liked from them? Obviously being led by another great star in this league, in Eva Hodgson.
So here's the thing over that 5-game win streak. Game 5, Eva didn't necessarily have a signature game. In fact, she ended a 24-game streak of double-digit scoring. She only scored 8 in that game. But granted, she came out with about 5 minutes to go on the clock as William & Mary had this thing in hand. I think Coach Swanson has done a tremendous job of asking his team to step up to each next level, and they have responded. I mean, you read the fantastic write-up of last week's game, and Eva's talking about Coach asking us to lock in, and that's exactly what they wanted to go and do. In this particular game, they had the opportunity to excel on the defensive end. But I just think when you look at this squad, they're another one who gets scoring from different places. Eva, we know about. But then you've got a freshman in Bree Bellamy who's having an outstanding year at different points. So there's weapons there that have to be accounted for. And so I think the Tribe is another squad that might be trying to shake some things up when we get to Elon for the tournament.
And William & Mary sitting there right in third spot in a team that we can't forget about, the defending conference champs, the Towson Tigers, sitting there in the fourth spot. And that's not unfamiliar territory for the Tigers because, of course, they won the conference championship from the fourth seed last year.
And it was a fantastic run for the Tigers. They capitalized on opportunities. And I don't want to take anything away from the top four teams in the conference this year. Bobby, I think for the Tigers, Kiana Jeter has obviously been fantastic, just recently hitting that 1,000-point mark. But the top four teams all have experienced head coaches. They've got upperclassmen who've been there and done that. And so I cannot wait to get to North Carolina and we get to see the X's and O's battles. I think it's really going to come down to coaching and experience. You talk about William & Mary, Eva Hodgson, 20 points a game, casual work for her. Kiana Jeter, 1,000-point scorer. Smalls, Benitez, you go down the list for JMU. And then Drexel and Bailey Greenberg, another person who's been in the conversation for Player of the Year in the CAA. So all of these teams, they have seasoned upperclassmen, outstanding coaches, and then there's a sprinkle of some freshmen in there that could do some major damage. The conference tournament is going to be fantastic.
Absolutely. We can't wait. It's only a few weeks remaining. Monica McNutt, our CAA Women's Basketball Insider, joining us. Thank you so much for your time today, and only a few more weeks left.
Indeed. I can't wait. Thanks, Bobby.